Hello, thanks for watching the Amy and Jamie Coffee Chat. I'm Amy, and this is my friend Jamie.
Good
And
morning.
good morning, everyone. We are going to we have a pretty cool topic today on top video recording tips and tricks. So, Jamie and I will give you some ideas on what we do. And of course, you can ask us anything that you want. Excuse me, frog in my throat. And I know that
You probably need more coffee.
yeah, yeah. I know there were a couple questions, so we'll make sure that we touch on those too. So, cheers to all of you out there. Let us know if you're
I've got
having
my
coffee.
coffee chat mug.
Yeah, Jamie's one on top. Got one up on me because my mug is in the dishwasher right now. So I'm using my other favorite mug that one of my members gave me. It says "Creative Warrior."
I like that. I hadn't seen
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. And this one is this side is not paint water.
Very funny. Oh,
With
that's
the lipstick
awesome.
all over it.
Carolina coffee beans, Kellen says that she uses. That sounds really interesting. So it sounds like she must do hers fresh every day and grind her. My husband does that every day. I'm just using like some Starbucks breakfast blend or something. But I did do something different with my coffee today. Tell me if you've ever tried this. So when I put the coffee grounds in the coffee filter, cup thing or
Yep.
whatever, I put just a little, I have one of the salt grinders and I put just a little bit of salt. Have you ever done
Oh,
that?
no.
It takes a little bit of the bitterness out. And
Oh,
because it's August 11th, I'm already in fall mode. I also sprinkled some pumpkin spice seasoning in there. So when it filters through there, I'm getting a little bit of the pumpkin spice, but it's not flavored coffee, right?
yeah.
Because I don't really like the flavored coffee because I don't want the same flavor every day. So that
Yes.
way I can kind of control. So it's just really subtle. And then I froth my creamer on the top there. So it kind of feels like, a
Yeah.
fall coffee drink.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I have my frother as well. I didn't use it this morning, but that little tool is, oh my gosh, amazing. So, Jamie, where do you get the pumpkin spice? Is it like in the spice aisle
Oh,
at the
yeah.
grocery store? Just like a regular says pumpkin
Yep.
spice, and then you just put a little bit
Yeah.
in there? Okay,
And
cool.
then at the bottom of my coffee mug, I put just the tiniest little bit of maple syrup.
Nice.
So,
I'm
I'm kind of
jotting
gearing
this
up for
recipe
my
down.
my pumpkin spice lattes. So, I think that Starbucks releases on the 29th is the date maybe. Don't anybody, but I'm pretty sure I tried to look it up and that's the date I think that they're releasing. So,
Nice. See, I'm
anyway.
a Dunkin' Donuts girl. We have a Starbucks too, but Dunk's is closer to me. So, yeah. I mean, I usually make my own, but if I treat myself, I go to Dunk's.
Now, I did see somebody in a different state, she's in Illinois, say that she already got a pumpkin spice from Dunkin'. So it depends
Oh,
on where you
wow.
are and what state and the store and when they get theirs
Yeah.
and everything like that. So, yeah. Yep. But anyway, that's my
Yeah.
little. Oh, Kellen said she missed it. It's only been 2 weeks since we didn't we do a 2 weeks ago?
Yep. Yep. And if any of you happen to miss it, because Jamie and I do this bi-weekly, every other Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if any of you happen to miss it, I want you to know that you can literally find it on my page, Amy Parker Art, or on Jamie's page, Creations of Studio 39, anytime you want. Just go
Yeah.
there and you can check out the recordings because we set up an event for everyone. The best thing to do is to click on going when you see the event come
Mhm.
out, because that way you're going to get a notification. I did send out a text as well. And I know Jamie, you usually do that.
I didn't today, but I normally do.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we forget. It's hard to do all the things all the
It
time, but
is. Yeah.
we're pretty on top of it. So yeah. Anyway, thank you, Kellen. You're so sweet. Um,
Oh. Oh, I love that profile picture of you, Kellen. I hadn't seen that one.
Okay.
any kind of beach picture is good with me. So,
Yeah.
I was going to mention too, you were talking about the replays. Normally what I do, I have a regular live video that I do every Monday. And after the video is over, then I will pin it to the top of my page. So that way you don't have to keep scrolling down. Like if it's, Wednesday, you don't have to scroll down to get to my Monday video. I will usually pin it to the top. And I normally do that with these videos too. So when they're on my page. So
Yeah. So I have my notebook because I'm always writing down anything that I want to remember or little new tips that I've learned. I wrote down Jamie's coffee recipe she was just talking about. And I wrote pin to the top of page.
yeah.
I
So
do this as well.
do you know how to do, with the three
Yeah,
little dots? So if
I
you go
do
to
this
the
as
three little
well, but
dots on your video, it will give you that option to pin it to the top. Now, I think on your business page, you can only pin 5 or 6 things. So like I have events pinned up to the top there and the new videos and, and anything recent, or I probably should have like an introduction kind of a post up there that I keep pinned, but I don't have one of those, I don't think right now. Like a welcome to my page kind of a post.
Yeah.
So
So
Milda's having her second cup. That's awesome.
I'll be there in probably like another hour. Maybe when we get done here, I'll have to refill. Kellen,
I think my coffee mug holds 2 cups.
Yeah, so you're
your
good.
cup is only like 6 ounces or something. Yeah. It's a tall one.
So. Yeah, I jotted down to pin because I try to remember that, but sometimes I pin, sometimes I don't, but it's a good reminder. So thanks for the heads up on that, Jamie. Kellen said she likes that feature as well.
Yeah, I don't think that you can do it from your phone. You know how some things you can't do. I think that you have to be on your computer to be able to do it. I think that that's the option. I know in a group you have to be on your computer to put it into a guide, but you can pin it.
Yeah.
So I don't remember on the business page which way it is. So,
and another place where you can always find Jamie and I's event for these coffee chats is in her free group and my free group, because we always post it in there as well. My free group, it's connected to my business page. It's called Creative Dreams. And Jamie, tell them what your free group is. I'm in Jamie's too, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So mine is Creative Business Owner Basics, which I shorten to CBOB. So if you search CBOB, it will actually come up because I put that in the title of the group. You just said something that I was thinking about before the free group.
Maybe it'll come back to you.
Well, that's where we put the events too. And I think that you were kind of saying that. So if you weren't going on the event, you can always go back to the free group and find it, or the event, and find the video will actually play in the event. So so that's way too.
Right here. Yes.
Oh, okay. So Nilda does say you can pin from your phone. Okay.
Yay. Yeah. And I just want to say thank you, Kellen. That's so sweet. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right. So I actually saw a couple of, I saw one person post some questions. So I'm going to go to that right now and pull those up on my Google Doc, because I copy and pasted that for us. And it was from Jet. This was in Jamie's CBOB group. And she says, I tend to paint small pieces. What's the best way to get good focus view on what I'm trying to show? Recommended Archon angles that work. Also, any recommendations on lighting? Okay.
So she just kind of covered everything there.
Yeah. So you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So when I'm doing something small, like, an 8x10 or smaller, sometimes they even do ACEO little cards. I would say for me, small would be like an 11x14 or below, something like that. Sometimes I open my multimedia.
Well, yeah, because you're working on 3x4 foot paintings.
Yeah, right. That's why my lighting is not the greatest right now. I do have some ring lights in front of me, but I have so many large paintings behind me. These three in particular are going to the 1848 Inn in my area today. So once those are out of the way, I could turn my desk around for when we do coffee chat again. But anyway, so Jet, and for anyone else wondering about this, I like to do instead of using an easel for something like that when it's a smaller piece, I like to lay my canvas and my supplies all down on one of my art tables or even my desk or whatever it is that I'm going to use. In and especially if I'm doing a tutorial, or not even that, just trying to show my collectors what I'm doing because they like to see things, like, oh, that's how a creative process happens, right? I try and make sure that my phone, my stand is high enough above so that it will get it will get some portion of like my palette, and they can probably see my water jar, or so they can see my hands doing everything, right? They can see me mixing the paint and painting on the actual
kind of your
canvas.
whole work surface.
Yeah. And I try and make sure that this is just me. This is just how I do it. I try and make sure that my canvas itself is positioned in the middle. And then on the side, I will have my palette, and maybe I'll have some brushes on the opposite side or something like that. So as far as lighting, let me see if I can pull one of these over here. I might have to unplug it. Hold on a second. All right. So as far as lighting, everybody uses different things, but I like these ring light tripods. And actually,
that one's nice.
Yeah, I just ordered this one and another one that's identical, because my other two, they don't last forever. I had it for a couple of years, but now I just ordered these two. So these are pretty cool because there are 3 on each leg. There's 3 spots that you can unclip, and you can push these in or out. So you literally can go up and down with this type of ring light. Also, you can do all these little tricks with it as well.
Oh, Jet just popped on. Jet, we're answering your question.
Yeah. So this one, it has this handle that you can turn the light.
That's really nice.
Either way. So
did you get that off Amazon, Amy?
I did. Yes, I did.
Do you know what brand name it is?
I can try to find the link for it because this one is a Sensyne. I think that's how it is. SENSYNE. That's the brand.
Okay, so somebody can spell that out in the comments there and see if I spelled it right.
So it might be hard to see on camera, but there's so many different little buttons that you can use to adjust the light. And this one, actually, let me see if it was this. Okay, do you see how this goes back?
Oh yeah.
So it's I would have to unscrew this, but you could literally turn it around so that the light is facing this way, and then you can hover them right over your table. And I get excellent light that way to create small pieces. Anyway, so hopefully those tips helped.
Do you remember how much that one was?
I can actually look it up for you. I can look it up.
Do you think it was like in the $30 range?
I think that sounds about right.
Is it a 10-inch or a 12-inch?
Let me go look right now. It's looking to me like it's probably, I think it's bigger than 10. It's bigger than 10.
Okay.
Let me see.
The 12-inch one is not really that much different. As far as pricing, it goes up to like $33.
Oops. Let me get to I'm just going to go to my orders so I can tell you exactly what it was. Sensyne. Did I say that right, Jamie? Is that how you would pronounce that?
That's how I would pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I was wrong because it is the 10-inch that I have. It says 10-inch ring light. with 50-inch extendable tripod stand,
Mm.
LED circle lights with phone holder. See, mine have the phone holder, but I never use it. I just use my boom stand for phone holder. But I have used in the past, I have put my phone in between the ring light, which works fine. You could do that as well. Let me. Oh, actually, you were right on. You're right on the money, Jamie. I purchased these for $28.49 each.
Okay, that's what it looks like it's on sale for right now too,
Yeah.
or on the special.
Yep. Let me get back to us so I can see what's happening. There we go. So, okay. So
Yeah, I really
in
like all the features of that one.
what was that, Jamie?
I really like all the features of that one.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. And another thing I didn't show you, but it actually has buttons right on the front that you can touch, and it has like a plus and a minus. So you can make the light brighter or dimmer. And it also has like a little circle that you can press to make the light either white light or yellow light, or like it has a bluish tone. So you can change the different
Yeah, I see
tones
where it
of
has
the
like
light.
3.
Yeah.
So, Amy, I don't know that I've ever asked you this before, but we're on your page, so I want to be respectful. Jet is asking for a link. Now, when I go into my Amazon, it's automatically going to pull up my Amazon affiliate link. Are you
Yeah.
also an affiliate for Amazon?
Well, not right now. I was in the past, but I'm gonna
Okay.
go ahead, Jamie. It's not a
Okay.
big deal. You can put yours in today until I'm gonna write that. I gotta redo my Amazon. All these things I'm
Okay.
taking notes on. Yeah. I'll be right back.
I'm looking to see if I can actually, oh, you know what I might have to do, Jet, is I got to go over to the video to actually post the link because it's not letting me put it in right here. So let me go over to Amy's page and I'll put it in there. I should be able to do it that
Well, I
way.
gotta grab something else to show as well.
Okay. So my suggestion as far as like staying on lighting is when I do my videos, this is not usually where I'm sitting. I have pretty good light right now because I have overhead lighting. And that's what I would always suggest if you're in your studio is overhead lighting to get. I have, what do they call up in the recess lighting. So that's what I have. But when I'm doing my videos and when I am taking photos and those, I prefer natural light as much as possible. In the evening, if I'm trying to take photos, I get awful shadows. So I would prefer to take photos in this room with natural lighting or over by a window, or sometimes I have a covered porch. I've taken my stuff outside and photographed out there. And I've done videos outside too, and it's beautiful lighting, you know, if you're kind of in a covered area. So that's my suggestion. I do have a ring light. I don't use it that often unless it's at nighttime when I'm doing a tutorial, whether it's recorded or live. And I feel like I need more lighting and I just need it to be. But I usually will have the ring light off to the side, kind of at like a 45 whatever degree angle.
Yeah.
So it's not straight down because I feel like I get weird glares and stuff if I have it straight down. So I have it kind of at an angle, like facing over towards my table where I have my, you know, my stuff. So
yeah. And those are some good pointers. That's actually how I photograph my artwork as well. Like I make sure that it's the art piece is as flat as possible. So if it's a large painting, I put it on my easel, make sure my easel stands up as much as I can. And then, like you're saying, Jamie, I have 2 lights on either side that are at like a 45-degree angle towards my painting. But just like you were mentioning, you know, I agree with the natural lighting as well. I've taken numerous pictures of my pieces outside in the natural light. And you're exactly right. If you have either a garage where you can open the the front and be in the shade but still get all that natural light, or if you're
Yes.
like like you, Jamie, where you have a porch that's covered, because that is really the best. You don't want to do it in bright sunlight. It's just not going to look. It's not going to look great.
Yeah. Yeah, you get like weird shadows and yeah. Okay, so it does look like I was able to put the link in there, Jet, for the tripod ring light that I found on Amazon, and it looks like it's the same one that Amy ordered. So yeah, that one is
And
really cool.
Kellen has a good point too. Always take pics directly over, or laying on the floor or flat on my easel. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's see what Jet's saying. My table's in a corner, so big window to the right, which works great during the day. My online paint parties at night. Yeah, you probably just need some more lights. That's all. Nothing really is going to beat natural light, of course, but if you can mimic it, sometimes I put my ring lights one on yellow, one on white, which kind of mimics sunlight, natural daylight. I got that tip from a photographer friend of mine, and I'm no photographer, by the way, but of course I try and listen and pick up tips. Thanks for posting that for them. Oh, Kellen, good luck. I'm not sure on this. I know my friend Cheryl. I know my friend Michelle. They have some pretty cool lighting that, well, actually, I'm not sure about Cheryl, but I know Michelle for sure. When we had our business retreat, I tried some of Michelle's lighting that she brought, and she had box lighting instead of the ring light, and it had like a soft kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like a box light. It wasn't very big.
Yeah, but it has the concave. Is that how, or something?
And I think that something like that might kind of fix the glare a little bit, because as you can see it in my glasses right now.
That's what Kellen was saying.
But Cheryl and I, my friend Cheryl, we're always talking about like, oh yeah, there's always like glares in our glasses, but I haven't yet.
I wear glasses, but I don't have to wear them for up close. So I don't ever have to wear them on my videos and things like that. But I wonder, are you able to move your ring lights so they're more at an angle, so they're not directly?
Yeah, I could move them, but I've tried that before. Right now, they're not right in front of my face. They're off to the side. But if I put them in front of my face, it's even worse.
Yeah.
But where I am, I'm not going to get up and move right now. But I've tried it before, but I still feel like I got the best lighting, like kind of where it is. Although I think I was just talking to you, Jamie, before we went live. Today, for me, on my end, is a good example of bad lighting. Just because the way my desk is facing, it's opposite of my huge bay window behind me, which is my natural light. But because I'm doing so much work lately, huge pieces, and my studio is kind of filled up with space, that's why I didn't turn around and move everything at this time. But yeah, natural light really, really is the best. And I know Jet had also asked in her questions, which were great questions, by the way, what do you use for the Archon mount, angles and things like that. Jamie might be able to answer that for you. I will tell you all, this is what I use. It's called a boom stand. I've mentioned this before to my members and maybe even on here. But if I back up, you might be able to get a better visual of this. And this goes up and down. Wow. This right here has a knob, so you can turn this either way. And also, it has another little knob on this side. This is good for overhang. You can push your camera in or out as far as you want, and this swivels. So I can actually, this boom stand has been my lifesaver.
You can get different angles. What's the little thing hanging there?
So this is my selfie stick that
Oh.
I just put inside of my microphone clip. So you have to have a microphone clip.
Oh, okay.
But because I'm a singer, my husband actually came up with this genius idea. This is going to be way cheaper than an Archon mount, but Archon mounts are good as well. Although I still prefer to use a boom stand. And then so I just slide this in, and whoops, yeah, I
And so
just slide it in.
is that a little plug that's hanging down? Are you able to plug in?
You can if you want. It's just the type of selfie stick that I have in here right now, because it'll plug into my camera and I have the little remote control so I can start and stop it if I want to. I hardly ever use it. I usually just press the button. But the selfie stick as well, I can also pull out and pull back in. And this one I really like in particular because of this piece. When I have my phone in here, I literally can even go like this. So there's so many options and ways that you can angle stuff. So to answer your specific question, Jet, if I'm doing a small painting, I have it flat on my desk or my art table. I hover my camera just like this. So I have my painting in my boom stand, my phone, and I will raise it up to make sure that I can get my palette and things in there as well. So I just do straight on that way. And then I have at least 2 ring lights, unless I'm in natural light, like we were all talking about. I'll have 2 ring lights and just kind of angle those in. And I really like the 45-degree angle, like Jamie was saying. Now, if you want to look this one up, I actually just had to buy a new one because this one, the screw things they're getting a little bit stripped on it. This one is called On Stage. And when I purchased this one, it was like $35. Well, they didn't have that one when I placed my last Amazon order. This one I literally did not even open yet. But this one I got from Hala Music, and it was about $50. I'm excited to open this one. Hopefully I'll have time today to put this together. But that one looks like it's even gonna work better than the one I just showed you. So I'm excited about that. One thing I want to mention, if you do try this option, so even if you're not a musician, that's okay. Go ahead and get a boom stand and try it out. I always make sure that I get the bases, the heavy bases that are circular. They're heavier, but if you have a larger phone, or if you're putting in your iPad, or for instance, this is my iPhone and this is my Android phone. So, some of us have bigger phones. This one is a lot heavier. That's why I like to have the heavier base, and it saves a lot of space. Because when I just showed you the ring lights with the tripods, and it does open up pretty big, but you literally can push those legs on the ring lights up to even have them on your table. You don't even have to have them on the floor. But I like the circular base for my boom stand, AKA phone holder, because it saves a ton of space. You can walk around your desk or your area, and you're not tripping over all these legs. So anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. No, I do not have something like that. So I'm taking notes because most of the time when I'm doing my live video on my business page, which is an open public page, so it's not paid, I'm using just this little tripod. So it just has this phone holder, and it springs in, to hold it in there, and it does swivel. So normally what I'll do is I'll start my video where it's just face on, and then I can just swivel this down so that it's facing my table, because I'm usually working fairly small in a journal that's 4.5 by 8.5. I have put it up a little bit higher. I've stacked books or whatever it is, so I can maybe put it up a little bit higher so I can get a bigger view. Because I will be honest and tell you, I got an Archon pretty early on when I started doing videos, and I don't use it. I don't use it very often at all. And it was for one of the reasons that you mentioned. My phone is so heavy that if I get it at a certain angle, it won't hold it. And I have it's got so many different dials and, places that you can adjust and things. And I have all of them tightened as tight as they can possibly get. But there's one area, and I have it over here. I don't know that I could get it very easily and show you, but there's an area where there's just like a ball joint. I don't know, whatever you call it. And if I have that a certain way, there is no tightening of it. So I can't tighten that. And so I've done a video before where I didn't realize it. And the whole time my phone is falling and falling. And by the end of the video, it's not in the view because the phone has fallen down. So I can, I'll be able to see it. So that hardly ever happens with that one. The only thing is, because I have an Android and I can't flip the view, if I'm doing anything with words, right, I'm starting off with it just straight on. And then when I tilt it down, it's backwards, right? So what I've done to get around that is I will tell my viewers that are watching, I'm starting off face to face. Okay, if you get dizzy, look away for a second, because I physically take my phone off the stand and I'll switch it around so that I'm using the forward facing camera instead of the selfie camera. Right. And then it's still tall enough that I can just look down on my table and they can still see like the 4.5 by 8.5. Really the only time that I'm using my Archon is when it is a tutorial in the evening where I can set up the lighting and I can, get it at the angle. I mean, it takes so much more work. When I am just doing my morning videos, I can grab this, stick my phone in there, and I can be live in 2 seconds. But the Archon is a little bit harder. I see that Kellen just pulled up one that I've been looking at, and it's called the Canvas, which I thought was kind of a funny name for, because it has nothing to do with Canvas, but I've seen those, and they're like an arm that kind of like moves around and it has different angles, and it looks like it's a little bit more accessible and easier to use than the Archon. But I use my Archon, but I basically keep it in one position. I have it so that when I'm doing the tutorials, all I need to do is swing it around to be straight over whatever it is that I don't like all the angles. So I kind of like that yours had options, but it's kind of like straight out and in.
Yeah.
And then just
let me tell you, because I've used many. Yeah. I've used many Archon mounts with my friends when we go to Florida for our retreats. And I like my boom stand better. It's so much less like thinking and trying to fix every single angle on all those arms.
Yeah, and tightening all of it, and
just has the two. It has this one pole here and the one pole this way. And sometimes I stand up in my studio as well. So here's another thing I didn't even show you. If you want, you can even go like this and have it straight up. Now, this, like I told you, it's a microphone stand, but it's called a boom stand because, like, for instance, when I used to sing in my bands, I would have a straight stand, it's called. It wouldn't have this top piece. It was just one piece that went up. I put my microphone and I stand right next to it. This boom stand is designed for guitar players who sing at the same time. So when we would go to band practice, my job, all the guys are bringing in equipment, but my job was to set up all the microphones, and pretty much everyone in my band, all my musicians would sing as well. So we had the boom stands. So I would set them up and adjust them for the guys. So when they're playing guitar, that stand can come this way, but it's pushed out, so they're not going to step on it. They're not going to hit their guitar. And then, one night at practice, Tim's like, Amy, you know how you're using a paper towel roll? This was years ago. You know how you're using a paper towel roll to hold your phone when you're trying to do videos? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, take one of these home. I'm like, what do you mean? How am I going to put my phone on it? And he's like, duh, clip your selfie stick into the microphone clip. I'm like, oh my gosh, I wonder if that will work. He's like, I don't see why it wouldn't work. And he put his selfie stick right in there, right? And oh yeah, so ever since then, it's so easy. It really is. You all would love it.
I can kind of use this one as a selfie stick, and I wanted to show you the legs on this one are bendable, right? So I could wrap this around anything. And a lot of times if I'm traveling, especially for conferences and stuff, I'll take this with me. I can set it up on my table really easily to, do reels and film, things. And I can kind of use it as a selfie stick because I can just kind of like hold the three of these together. And so, yeah, I might have to look into a boom stand, Amy.
I love the little tripod that you have. And I'm actually writing that down with the bendable, because in the way back years ago, I used to have one, not that exact brand you just showed, Jamie, but I had one.
Yeah, they're
with the bendable legs.
Yeah.
And I did just what you did. Like, it's so cool. Like, you literally can twist it and put it wherever you want. Like, I even saw one artist that was showing kind of behind the scenes. She was outside painting, like we were talking about.
Put it around a tree.
Yeah, she was under, exactly. You're reading my mind. She was under a big tree to get some, so she's not in the bright sun. And she literally took that little tripod and wrapped it around a branch and pointed. I'm like, oh, genius. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw a question that Nilda, I think, asked about. I think it was up above there. Yeah. Yeah, record flat down. I don't know if that answered your question there. Oh, and still see the comments is the other part that she was asking. So if you're using an Archon, a Canvas, a Boomstick, something like that, and your phone is above where you can see the comments, you have to have a second device. So I don't normally do that unless I'm doing a recorded tutorial. When I'm doing a live video on my page that no one is paying for, I'm not going through all of that. If it takes me more than 10 seconds to set up to do a live video that is, I'm just providing a service on my page and value on my page, I don't do all of that. I use this. It takes me 10 seconds. And when I am, get it on the screen here, when I'm filming straight on, it's like this. And when I tilt it down, I can still look down and I can still see the comments. So I don't have a second device because that takes a whole lot of extra work for me to unplug my laptop from here, move it over to my workspace, get all the, now for a recorded tutorial or inside my membership, that is how I do it. I have the Archon up above here. It's pointed down. I'm on Zoom. I'm face-to-face on my computer so I can see comment. I mean, on Zoom, they're able to talk to me, so I don't have to worry about comments. But yeah, on a live video, I'm not spending the extra time to do all, I'm just not. So I make it simple.
For me, I usually have my computer open as well. So I can just, it's easier for me to just do it that way and read the comments. Yeah. But like you were saying, Jamie, and I know Jet's question was, we were talking a lot about how to film like a smaller piece that you're working on. So if it is a smaller piece, I do the same thing you do, Jamie. If you can literally stand and see, you can see the comments right there. But if it's something where you have to really put it high and hover, then yeah, you're right. You're going to need to have a second device. If you have two phones, like I do, you literally can just put your other phone there, or pull up a, iPad or something like that, because I know what you mean too. It's kind of a pain in the butt to drag your whole station and your computer over and put it. I usually do that, but that's just my jam. That's what I like to do. One thing that you were talking about earlier, Jamie, that I want to mention, um, and I've used my boom stand for this as well, but you could do it with a smaller, like the little tripod stand that you have. I know you were mostly talking about like kind of, I think, hovering with it, right? Or are you going straight onto your canvas?
Yeah, the way that this one, I can just kind of tilt it down. So my phone's kind of at an angle there, right? And
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
and so I can just kind of still see the comments.
Yeah. Okay. So, sometimes what I have done when I'm working with a small canvas, I'm talking 11 by 14 or smaller, and I will set up like one of my table easels and put it on that. So now we're not talking flat, we're talking it's
Right.
on the easel. I will have my stand in between, say, here's my easel and my painting, then here's my phone recording, and then here's me right here. So it's, 3. And then I will just flip. I'll press the button to flip so I can talk to my audience. Okay, now I'm going to paint some clouds, and then I'll press the button and it just flips right around to my easel. So sometimes I've gone back and forth, but be careful you don't press the wrong button because you don't want to
Yes.
end the video and in between,
Yeah.
while you're
I'm
trying to
always nervous
demonstrate.
about pressing or
Yeah.
if I try to make a comment to see other comments. I was going to mention, I know Angel's on here, and the way that Angel records her videos isn't exactly how you were just saying, that she's kind of like in a corner, it looks like, and she has her canvas set up, and then she's kind of painting, and her camera, her phone is over here. So you're able to see her, you're able to see her canvas, kind of the way that you were talking about. And I don't know if she's close enough then that she can scroll and see the comments. I don't see all of the comments on my phone anyway. After I get done with my video, I'll go and look, and I have way more comments than I saw while I was live.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what Nilda's saying, sometimes you can just say, yeah, I'm going to come back and comment on your comments that you've made or whatever, like after I'm done with the video. And sometimes I think people appreciate that because they're getting the full value of you demonstrating rather than answering or commenting. If you're answering questions that people are asking, that's one thing, but most of the time they're showing up to watch you live to paint and they, so yeah, I think that those are good
I think
ways
you were
to
talking
get
about
around
this,
that.
right? You had mentioned the arm. What was that, the one? Yeah. Tamara has one of those arms that hooks onto the table. Yeah. Good morning, Madeline. Thanks for hopping on with us.
Oh, I love her glasses in her picture.
Yeah.
They're like that bright pink. Yeah.
And Kellen's husband's a musician as well. So she's already got a boom stand. Yeah, try it out. See how you like it. If you have any more questions for us on recording or anything like that, just
Diana says the same thing. She just tells them that she'll look at the comments afterwards and comment on them. Yeah, and I think that's important. Like I did a video on Monday, and I don't think that I went back and commented on everyone's comments that they made in the video. And I do think that's important to come back to do that, not to get off on a whole separate topic, but I do want my followers to know that I acknowledge that they were on and I appreciate that. And so commenting back to them. And it also helps to, feed the algorithm to show that there's conversation going on in your video. So,
yeah. Another thing, when I'm finished my recording, my live, I make sure that I edit the video on my business page. So even for like these, I will go and edit it. That way you can put in tags, hashtags, you can put in.
I used to be so much better about that. That's a good reminder for me.
And you also can put in a title, because when people are scrolling and they're like looking at different videos, if you don't edit that, even if you put a title in your description, like before you go live, tell me if I'm wrong, Jamie, but if I don't go back and edit it after, then people that are scrolling can't see like a title for the video. So that's what I like about it, being able to put in titles and tags. Tamara, I got, we're musicians, so we had like a house full of equipment. But I actually got my latest boom stand that's called from Holla, HOLA Music. Jamie, you can put that link in too if you want. I got that on Amazon, and I wanted to get the on stage, the one that I showed the example, but I couldn't find it on Amazon this time. Not the type that I was interested anyway. Let me
And
look
just to compare a little bit, so that stand was $50, and then how much was your selfie stick?
Oh, like a couple bucks. I mean, I might have even got it at the dollar store. I don't know, or maybe at Walmart for. It was definitely under $5. I mean, it
Oh,
was
wow.
cheap.
So
Yeah.
total $55 in comparison to the Archon, which is essentially a boomstick and a selfie stick, you know, kind of all put together or whatever. I'm pretty sure I paid like $150 for the Archon. So
Yeah.
big difference.
So the Holla Music one that I just got delivered, it says Holla Music stand with adjustable height for home studio, office, stage, whatever. Weighted base. Very
Yeah.
important because that will help you all. $47.52.
Okay. Yeah, I can put the link in there afterwards. It was hard for me to like navigate and make sure that, yeah. And Kellen was saying that the Canva one has a weighted base on it too.
Oh,
I've seen that, and it looks to me, it reminds me of like an adjustable arm on a lamp. Remember how those cone lamps, you know, and they had the like the adjustable. That's kind of what the Canvas one looks like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you can, but you know, I've talked to my members inside of Creative Warriors about this a lot, like throughout the years. So I don't want you all to get confused because I know you're all asking about this. So when I say that I edit my video on my
Yeah,
business
you're
page,
not editing the physical video. Yeah.
right. All I am doing is, I think it's, you know, you press the three dots and then you click
Mm-hmm.
to edit and all that, right? And what it does is it will bring it to a new page in Meta where you can write in the title. So you're editing like the title and you're adding in tags, which people can find your video easier that way with the SEO rich words you want to put in the tag.
That's what I was going to say, the benefit. So if we're talking about why would you want to do that, the benefit is what Amy just told you. It makes your videos more searchable because you're putting in information in a place that is making it more searchable on Facebook. That's why you want to go in. And I will say, probably when I was doing that, I was getting more views on my videos than I am now.
Yeah.
So that I'm putting a little star beside that. Like
it definitely makes a difference because, like you just said, Jamie, I know that if I'm backed up like a week or two and I haven't edited anything and I need to go back, I can literally see my numbers and I can see that the ones that I did not edit, you're right, they don't get pushed out like the ones that you edit. So you definitely want to be doing that.
Yeah. Do you go back in like right after you finish the video most of the time?
Most of the time, yes, but sometimes I get, you know, just like everyone, sometimes I get overwhelmed, like, oh, there's a lot of stuff going on if I have, you know, meetings right after or whatever. But normally I go back and do it right when I'm done, when I press the end button. If you can kind of get into that routine and you'll get used to it. It really doesn't even take that long.
Yeah.
You know,
I used to just make it part of my routine and it doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and share a tip that I normally only share with my paying clients of people that I work with. Are you ready? Some people may already know this. So I just had somebody comment this last night in my course. So I know that this is something that people are still learning. So when you go in to edit your video, you may or may not know that when you first do a post, a video, anything, you do not want to put a link in your post. You do not want to put a link in your video. And this is for people who have smaller audiences. When you have bigger audiences, you can do things that are outside of, because you've got bigger numbers. When you have a smaller audience, do not put a link in your post, do not put a link in your video. However, when you already have engagement on your video and you go in and edit your video, you can put a link up there. And Facebook won't see that as you taking them off the platform because the video already has engagement. So there you go. If you stuck around for 49 minutes, you just got a big tip right there.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with them. Jamie, in case someone's wondering, are you talking about putting the link after it has engagement into the description or the comment section?
Yeah, the description. Yeah. Yeah, because I'll go and put it into the comments when I'm answering, and commenting back. But when I was more consistent about editing the video, I would go back in and put a link to my sales page. If we're talking about making money and we're talking about making a profit and doing income producing activities, a live video is my most successful way to do that. But I don't put the link in the live video until after the live video is over, and then I go and edit it.
Yeah, that was helpful to them.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that.
That was the way that I found. And then if I send out the email afterwards for people to go watch the replay, the link's already there in the description of the video.
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah. So they don't have to go look for it and all that kind of stuff. So bigger names. So you'll see other people do that and they will put links in the description. They'll put a whole, that's usually because they have a bigger audience. So they're going to have at least some people show up and comment on their video just by sheer number. I don't have that unless I intentionally get people to show up to my video because I send out an email, I send out a text, whatever it is. I probably don't have as many people from my audience showing up to watch today because I didn't send out an email or a text. So, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes that happens, right?
Yeah.
Let me see here. I wrote down a couple of things to give you all some tips as well. Let me just look at my Google Notes here. Oh, okay. So here's one that I have discovered a while back. When you are going to start your video and if you have Bluetooth connected, unconnect your Bluetooth. Because sometimes my studio is right next to my driveway, so sometimes it would connect to my car when I'm trying to do a live. Yeah. And then it would just kind of get glitchy sometimes. So if you are going to record, these are the steps I do. I shut my Bluetooth off. I turn off notifications, so no distractions on my phone. I also go to Facebook Messenger because I get a lot of messages coming in, and I make sure that I hit the notifications on Messenger and I silence those, usually for an hour. That's typically what I go live for. But they give you more options. You can do it longer, because let me tell you all, if you are doing a live on Facebook and you have your Messenger on and available, if somebody, at least on my end, this has happened, if somebody presses that button to video call you, like your mom or your sister, like mine do, it will literally boots me right off my live video. So I make sure that I go and
that's a good tip. I've never had that happen, but I can see. Yeah.
I also turn the sound down on my device that I'm recording on. I turn it all the way down. That way it doesn't get it. For me, it just works better. I'm not sure what your experience is, Jamie, but it gets my voice just more clear than all the other noise. And it still works. I still can record with the sound down. You can all test it to just do a test video and kind of see how that works for you. We've already talked a little bit about two devices. I usually use two devices. One, I will I will set in and record as I'm doing a live. If say I'm painting, and that way I can do a time lapse on one device and I can record my live on the other device, and then I can, easy peasy. That's already done.
There was a question I thought that Nilda asked about using StreamYard, or maybe somebody said something about StreamYard and maybe it was Angel and it getting hot.
Let me see. I'm so sorry can you all, you know what? Well, I probably should have said this. It's so much easier for me anyway. If you put a Q and then your question, if you have a specific
Yeah,
question.
we never kind of made that a thing.
Yeah. It's so much, and you all can tell us what you're having for coffee and tea. You can tell us about your day and all that fun stuff. But like, if you have a specific question, if you put a Q first, it's so much easier for me anyway to kind of go down and find it.
Tamara, we are doing the editing in Meta is how it comes up. Like when you click the three little dots, it'll say edit video and it kind of pulls it up into another space. And if you aren't getting the three dots to be able to do that, then open your video all the way up, right? Instead of just viewing it in your feed, open it all the way up and then you might get the three little dots. So
is this the one you were talking about? Okay, so for StreamYard, do you use something besides a phone to record? I tried it once in a collab and the phone became very hot. I have actually used my laptop a lot for recording if I'm doing recording on StreamYard. I love doing Zoom for recordings as well and sharing screen. You can share screen with StreamYard as well, but I find Zoom is way easier. I have used my phone for recording through StreamYard if I am doing some sort of a visual tutorial. A lot of times I'm just talking or showing slides or something because I'm all about, teaching you how to market your paintings online, build your own art collector base, things like that. So yes, I'm an artist and I paint a lot, but I'm not so much into showing step-by-step how to paint everything. But so that's kind of what I do. And then Angel, even, I haven't used StreamYard a whole lot to record. I'll tell you all another tip about what I have done throughout the years is I started a group for myself and it's called My Vid Testing. And I will go into there and I will record whatever I want to do. If I don't want to stream this live and I want to record, I will just record it in my vid testing group. And then I will go back and download it to my computer and use it wherever I want. I found that is pretty easy. But when I'm doing social media tips, marketing tips, when I'm doing specific trainings for my membership and things like that, I 9 times out of 10 use Zoom. But that's just my preference. I hope that helps a bit.
Yeah, so I have used StreamYard for recording like she's talking about, and my phone has gotten hot. And I think it has something to do with it is downloading that video onto the StreamYard platform. So it's recording it, but it's also, I think it has something to do with it's putting it into their cloud storage. So I think it might have something to do with that. But I always have plugged in my phone because I feel like the battery, I don't ever want the battery to go dead or whatever because it's using up so much of that. I have had a lot of different issues with StreamYard if I'm trying to do a dual screen with muting one of them, getting feedback. I mean, there was a video just a couple of months ago where I was getting a lot of feedback and I could not figure out it was because it was my phone wasn't turned down. So that tip that you were talking about, turning the volume down. And then I also had to go into the settings in StreamYard and mute that second device. And it was just a lot of setup. So I do agree that sometimes Zoom is just an easier way to do that. Although when I've done, like I'm on my laptop right now, when I do StreamYard, normally it's for this type of situation where I'm doing an interview or it's just me doing a training instead of recording, a tutorial. But where was the tangent getting off on there? Normally, if I'm using StreamYard, it's for this. And then Zoom, so if I'm sharing a screen and doing a training, I try to use StreamYard. Whenever I am on Zoom and I'm trying to share a screen, which is a little bit different than if you're doing a tutorial, but it always lags. Like I always get a lot of lag whenever I'm trying to, and even sometimes when I'm doing StreamYard, but it seems like it runs a little bit easier. So I try to shut off all of my other windows. Like I try to shut down all of my other windows so it plays. Like I feel like StreamYard, I don't get as much lag. Whereas Zoom, I feel like I do. And I don't, even when I shut down everything.
I'm the opposite. So it really is about testing it, ladies.
Yeah.
Try it out, test it, because Jamie likes, StreamYard for screen sharing better. I like Zoom for screen sharing better. So it's really just, get in there, test it, try it out, and see what you like.
Your computer. Yeah.
Diana's saying she can't get the time lapse off the phone. Don't know what I'm doing wrong. Both are iPhones.
I'm a Droid user, so I can't help you there, Diana.
So what I do with my time lapses on my iPhone is I use them mostly for reels, or stories. So tell me, Diana, because it should go as soon as you do the time lapse and you stop the recording of that.
But I think she's talking about if you're doing a live tutorial, you're videoing it on your real phone, I'll say, and your second device is also an iPhone that you're doing a time lapse on. Because I've tried this before with my Droid, so I just don't know on the iPhone. So my second device that I don't use as a phone, how do I get that time lapse onto my phone that's connected to my Facebook where I want to do the reel? In iPhone, it's probably saying yes. There's a storage kind of thing.
She's saying yes. You got that right. I'm not really sure, to be honest, because I use mostly my Android and my iPhone. Sometimes I will use my iPad and one of my phones. So if it's on the iPad, and I don't use the iPad that often, my husband's an iPad person. I'm really not too much into the iPad, but I've used it before, and be able to save it onto my iPad and then just upload it onto Facebook or wherever I want it. So I'm sorry, Diana. I probably didn't give you like a straightforward answer, but I haven't had an issue with that. So I'm not, she's still saying I can't get it off phone to anywhere. So Diana, it's not going into your albums or your photos at all? I
don't think on the second device you have the capability of doing all of that different thing. Like I did this one time and I figured out how to transfer it, but I have a Droid. So it like shared it to a close device or something. And that was how I got it over onto, because I could only do the reel from the phone that I use, not from the second, old phone.
Yeah. Okay. So a tip for you, Diana, you literally can, you can edit the actual recording of the live that you did, and you can turn it into a time lapse. I've done that many, many times as well. I'll just, speed it right up, and I use my Windows laptop video editor. I just drag it into that, and then I just X how much speed I want. And it literally will take like a 45-minute or even an hour video and make it into like 30 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever I want to do. So you could try that option as well. Yeah, I'm not sure how Heidi does it then. I don't know. I haven't had that.
She has iPhones. That's why I don't know. Yeah. I thought maybe there was some kind of storage cloud kind of thing that it shares it, somehow. But if you're just using an old phone, I don't know that you have all of those features to be able to use it that way. So I had the same thing, and I'll tell you what, it was too confusing for me. I'm like, I have my second phone, but I don't use it because, like Kellen said earlier, if it's not easy and simple, like forget it. I'm not doing it. So we could do a whole Reels question answer if you want. But I don't think all of the Reels have to be process videos.
Right. Exactly.
So
And
I'm not doing Reels as often, but I will tell you what, I do screenshots. So you can pull a screenshot from a video or I'll take a video at the beginning, one at the middle, one at the end. And I will tell you some of the videos that I like to watch are somebody holding their artwork and then they spin it around.
Yeah.
You can do that at the end after you're all finished with your video. So don't complicate things, I guess, is the, if you're spending more than a few minutes trying to figure out technology of something, do something different. That's simpler.
So Jamie, are you, because this is what I do a lot of the times, and you guys, I don't record always with two devices. I mean, most of the time I'm doing one device and then I'm reusing that content multiple different ways. But I was just saying, for the sake of what the topic is for today, that I have used multiple devices at once. But you don't have to. You can make it easy. So Jamie, just let me make sure that I understand what you're talking about here, because what I do often is I will go back on my business page to a live that I did, and I will press screen record, and I'll record a segment of my video. Then I will save it, and I will make a reel and a story.
Way easier.
Everything.
Easier. Yeah. And then you can even take it into InShot as what you use to speed it up and do like a time lapse, right?
Yeah. I don't use InShot. I just go ahead and, if I want to speed it up, I will just record a segment of my live on my phone, and then I will go to my reel and upload it, and then I will just click the buttons to speed it up there on my reel.
Okay. Yeah. I try to use the native things too. So yeah.
Yep. Diana's like, wait, you record your own vid? I've been doing that for over a year now.
I was so excited when I got my phone, and I'm like, screen record. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Time saver. Yes.
Yeah.
So on the iPhone, you have to download it. Let me see if I can find the icon.
So for mine, it's a Droid, and if I do the pull down, I have like the different menu options, and then I pull down again. Mine's right there for screen record. And I just get it on the screen that I want to record. So I would, like Amy saying, pull up that video, and then I get to the screen record, and Jamie, I don't know which ones. She's asking if a Galaxy. I have an S22 Ultra, which is a newer, year and a half, 2-year-old phone or something. And that's where I found it, is in that drop down.
Jamie, did you have to, because I know with my Droid, I had to download something for screen record, or do you have it already on your device?
Would try it. She says she has an S21. I didn't know too many people had. I should ask that question, how many people have a Droid or an iPhone.
So for this one,
I'll have to tell you about something else that I found. It might be on your S21 also.
So for this, for instance, this is my vid testing group, right? And here's a video that I did. And so I would just scroll up, hold up, and then where is it? It's right there. That's my icon for for screen recording. Right,
and so you have like 3 seconds before it starts.
Yeah. So now it is screen recording. And then all I do is I scroll back up, and then shut that off, and
Oh,
then it
okay.
just screen recorded. That's my iPhone. Um, Jamie, I was trying to look at that while you were talking, but do you have something on your Android that already comes with your phone to record, or did you need to download an app to do a screen recording on your Android?
Yeah, it was just in that drop down.
Okay, so let me see, because I have kind of a newer one.
So
I thought that I had to, because I
I
downloaded
just did
this.
the drop down, and then I did the drop down again. And then mine's down at the bottom left. Bottom right.
What does it say?
Screen recorder.
That's weird.
And it looks like a little video camera inside of that little box.
Okay. Mine does not have that. That's weird.
So I had to laugh because while I was showing that, Jamie has an S21 Plus, and she says, "Well, I'll be John Brown." I just looked, and there it is. And I've never heard that expression, so I had to laugh.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Oh, Jamie, that's awesome. So.
Oh, okay. Tamara's saying hers says screencast.
I wonder if is that casting your screen onto another.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's what it is, because
Yeah.
I cast onto my large television.
Yeah.
Maybe, is that what you're talking about, Tamara? Because that's what I do with my screencast. But yeah, mine doesn't show me what yours did, Jamie. That's why I downloaded an app for it.
Yeah. What version is your Droid?
I don't even know. How do I find out what version it is?
I don't know.
It's
I
this
just got
version.
mine last summer. So
I probably have to. I mean, I just bought it like a month and a half ago, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But if I go to my Samsung connections, devices, mode, sound of, I'm just trying to see. Usually in the,
I don't even know where you can go to tell what phone you have.
it should say right here in my settings somewhere. If someone has a phone that looks just like this, let me know. Oh, about phone. Oh no, that's like legal information. Weird. General language.
Yeah, I don't really.
Oh, okay. I have a Galaxy 23 5G. That's what I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just different than Oh, yeah, I went to About Phone and it gave me my information.
Jason just tried it.
I know, she's excited. Jamie, I'm going to show you something else that I think is on your S21, and that's totally different than videoing, but
I'll YouTube it. That's awesome.
Yep.
What was that, Jamie? Oh my
God.
God.
Okay, so Angel has an iPhone and she was explaining on hers. Yeah, Google it, or Angel said her son showed her. Yeah, Google it or YouTube it. You can find out. I mean, that's what I do with so many different things. Like, how do I whatever. So
I'm actually doing what Angel's saying right now. But
a dot inside of a little circle.
But it's just bringing up my notifications when I drag my finger from the top right to the bottom left. But yeah, maybe I'll have to Google that too.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. Awesome. I mean, I must have a screen record on this newer phone somewhere. So because that would be better if I can find it instead of using the app that I downloaded. I'd rather just use whatever came with the phone, but we'll see. Find it.
Well, Amy, I was just looking up that the next time that we are live for our coffee chat is on August 25th. And I will set up the event. It will be on Creations of Studio 39. And if you have any suggestions about what topic you would like for us to talk about, I know we had talked a little bit about that is coming right up onto fourth quarter. So if you wanted to talk anything about that, or if you had other suggestions of what you would like for us to talk about and, make available to ask questions about on August 25th will be the next one. So you can put those here in the comments and give us suggestions. And we usually set that up about a week or so before,
unless you're like me and you're last minute and you forget that it's your turn. Oh man. But yeah, we usually try to do at least about a week. So
yeah. Jamie's very excited about the screen record. She didn't know that she had that. I was excited too. Like when I found it on my phone. So awesome. Well, Amy, I as we were sitting here, got a reminder of my plans that I have for this weekend. And I know we don't normally share a whole lot about whatever we have coming up, but I got a reminder that on Sunday I am leaving for Nashville. So
oh my God.
Excited. Yeah.
Tell me about it real quick. I'm like, what's happening? Like
we are just staying 2 nights, and I get to meet my mentor that was at my retreat live. Katie Horner is going to be. So she invited us out to kind of a little get together, meet and greet on Monday night in Nashville, and it sounds like it's at a co-working space. Right. So there's supposed to be 20 people. I have no idea who the 20 people are. So I'm kind of like walking into something that honestly makes me a little apprehensive and nervous because I'm more of an introvert. I don't, I would rather like sit in the back and just kind of observe. Right. I'm not but my husband's going to be with me and he is a little bit more social. So I'll have him beside me and feel a little bit more comfortable. So we've never been to Nashville. I was looking up information and just booked on Monday or Tuesday this week, the campground. So they have cabins at the campground, which I'm not a camper. So that's a whole new adventure. And we get to bring our dog. Oh, so we don't have to board the dog and, so so that,
I know it's hard to travel with animals. So that's great.
Yeah, or boredom because that's kind of pricey. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. We've never been.
When did you say you're going?
We're leaving on Sunday, so we'll be there Sunday and Monday night.
Wow,
it's only about 4.5 hours. So that's why when she invited us and said we were on a Zoom, and she just kind of made the invitation, and I thought, well, we could probably make that happen.
Yeah. So. I've been to Nashville a couple of times, and it's awesome. You're going to have a good time. You'll have a blast. Good. Yeah.
So we'll have, most of the day on Monday and a little bit Sunday and Tuesday before we would leave. So, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Diana says she loves the little cabins. Yeah, it's a tiny little cabin.
Yeah. And what I did for fun recently, I'm not going to Nashville. Sounds like Jamie's, get that one covered, and that's going to be a blast. But I just went to the Melissa Etheridge concert with my
you at a concert.
And my niece, and we brought her friend, and my husband Tim got us. He gets all kinds of perks from the job, being a sound engineer. So we got 4 VIP tickets. We got our own skybox and bartender and waitress and bathrooms.
Wow.
Oh yeah, to have your own bathroom at a concert. So it was pretty cool. And it was right on the ocean. So we all went to put our feet in the sand, in the water.
I wondered, I saw you and I didn't think that you were that close to,
But it was freezing. So I put my big toe in. I'm like, I'm going to pass tonight. It's like ice water. But the younger girls, right? They're like, they had a couple of drinks too. They're feeling good. And they're like, we're going to go in. I'm like, be careful. And it was freezing. And they're like, oh, I don't feel anything. You're going to be so cold on the way home. But it was a wonderful time. It was good.
Oh, very fun. Fun. Well, very good, Amy. We've been on here for about an hour and 20 minutes, so we should probably go ahead and finish up. I have another Zoom at 12, I think. So
wow, time flew. I didn't know if we would have enough things to talk about for this topic, but I guess we did. So I hope you all enjoyed it, and we'll catch you all soon.
Okay, bye everybody.